I always dream of places to go. I love traveling. I love every aspect of the traveling. I even like the transportation to get there. I love going to an airport. And yet, even with my love of travel, it's not enough for me to have travel as my motivation to get up in the morning and do what I need to do. It's not enough for travel and visiting these new sites don't motivate me and create enough momentum for me to push past all of the uncomfortable and all of the decisions that I have to make in order to make an impact. Hello, welcome back to the Full Weight of Joy podcast. My name is Tammy and I'm your host, and I am so excited you're here. For the last month, so the entire month of October, we talked about vision. If you go back and you listen to any of the podcasts, it all centers around, well, what is a vision? Why do you need a vision? How do you create a vision? And I even did a vision lab where we dove deep for 4 sessions into the important aspects of a vision. Well, today I wanted to share with you, this is going to be a short episode. I just want to share with you a clip from our final session of Vision Lab. We talk about our identity vision, which refers to how you see yourself evolving, changing, refining as you work toward your goals. And we talked about our impact vision. This is not just a vision about what to get, but we talk about what we are called in our know, or the core of our being. What are we called to do, and what mark are we left to leave on this earth? And so what is an impact vision? It's the broader difference that you make in the world. It goes beyond your personal success and reflects the legacy you want to leave through your work, business, or life. Let's do this. Hello, and welcome back to session 4 of our Vision Lab. We have talked about our vision, we visualized, we have talked about what it looks like and why it's so important to have the visual aspect, but to not let that be the only aspect. We created vision declarations. We talked about goals and aligning our goals with our vision and our vision with our goals, having those intersect, as well as with our core values, and why if we take one piece of these without the others, it's not a very dynamic future. It's not inspiring, it's not compelling, and a lot of times it lies flat or it doesn't get us up out of bed in the morning. And so today we're going to add the final element. Well, there's lots of elements to vision, but this is probably my most favorite part. And this is a part that not a lot of people talk about. And we're going to do it in 2 parts. We're going to do an identity vision, and we're going to do an impact vision. Because I know that one thing I know to be true about my clients is it's really not about the money. As nice as the first class ticket is, as nice as going to Italy and going to the Caribbean and owning a new home that's picturesque and all those things that are great, really what solidifies it for my clients and for for you all is the impact it makes. What is the result of it? And what can we do to lean into our impact more? Because we're called to make an impact. We are called to make a difference. And I wanted to share a Bible verse with you. Let me add it up. Okay, here we go. Matthew 5:16 says, "In the same way, let your light shine before others, that they may see your good deeds and glorify your Father in heaven." The things we do are supposed to be seen. We're supposed to make an impact. Without being seen, we can't make an impact. And so that's one of the reasons why I feel so called to this work and to helping individuals get out of imposter syndrome, helping women understand who they are in Christ and how did He uniquely gift them. What is your unique value proposition? What is the impact in your purpose? And because when we know who we are, it's a whole lot easier to step into what our impact is. It's a whole lot easier to do the things that we need to do that we know are going to be uncomfortable because they're not natural. They're not normal. They're vulnerable. And so today's session, I just want to really dive into our identity vision. Who are we and what do we want people to say about us? And our impact vision, which is
What impact are we called to leave on this earth? Now, I want to clear up one thing from the very beginning, that even if you are not a celebrity, even if you don't have 100,000 followers, if you impact one person the way that you're called to, we don't know the ripple effect. We don't know what that can do, how that affects things. One thing that is said is you can count the seeds in an apple, but you can't count the apples in a seed. And so this is why when we're crafting our impact vision, we get to just lean in and look at the vision that God gave us. We don't need to worry about how are we going to do it and what is it going to mean, because the more we start thinking about how and what could it mean, it kind of, that responsibility kind of weighs on our shoulder, and then we can, like, who are we to do this? Well, we are a child of God, and he said to do it. That's why we do it. Another verse that really spoke to me is 1 Peter 4:10. Each of you should use whatever gift you have received to serve others as faithful stewards of God's grace in its various forms, which also is it's very clear. We all have unique gifts from God, and we're called to use them. And I love the fact that it says in its various forms, meaning that our purpose is the what. It's not the how. And so we get to use our gifts in so many different ways, which is why when we understand our impact, we understand our vision and our purpose, we understand how God wired and gifted us, this impact we get to make, as we have to lean into it and trust him for it versus striving for it and feeling like we are lacking. And then the last verse that I have to share today is Proverbs 3:27. Do not withhold good from those whom it is due, when it is in your power to act. This one is humbling. This is basically, to me, when I read that, is how dare you, when someone is waiting for what God has given you, how dare you hold it simply because you're afraid? I am more afraid of not making the impact that God has for me and partnering with him than I am of falling or being made fun of online. It took me a while to get there, and I've had haters. I've had people who targeted things that I've said, but what that means is that something triggered them. But the thing is I've had so many more people say, Tammy, that's exactly what I needed to hear. Thank you for what you're doing. And that's the same thing that you're going to hear as well. And this is what our impact is about, because it's not about us. It's about how God created us. It's about how we get to partner with God. It's about how we are going to leave our mark and how we're going to shine our light on this earth. And so today we're going to dive into our vision, our identity vision, and our impact vision. Forgot the word for a second. Is there any questions from the last 3 weeks?
Have you taken the time to really sit and consider your vision? I hope you enjoyed this little sneak peek into our vision lab. And I want you to know that, well, taking the time, making the effort, getting uncomfortable, and truly sitting and crafting this vision that's going to compel you, that's going to inspire you, that is actually birthed from within you versus just looking at magazine pictures and things that you want, is so vital. We have one life. We are called to make an impact. We are called to a purpose, and it's our duty to figure out what the impact is. And honestly, when you figure out what impact you want to make, a lot of times your purpose can come out of it easier. Our purpose is an overarching idea, and it doesn't necessarily give you and pinpoint exactly what or how you need to do it. And so that's why vision, our impact vision, our identity vision, and our vision boards, and our just crafting a North Star vision is so important. And so if you have not done that, if you haven't taken time to craft vision, well, either one, you can reach out to me. Let's talk about what it means to craft your vision, because your vision is not the same as mine. Even if we have similar ideas, even if we have similar purpose, even if the impact is similar, it's not exactly the same. And when you blindly take someone else's goals, someone else's ideas, someone else's vision without diving deep and understanding how it connects to you, you're actually doing yourself a disservice, and it's going to feel misaligned. It's going to feel heavy, and the energy is not going to follow. So take the time, do what you need to do to create this vision that's lasting, that creates fulfillment for you, and that just inspires you to get past your comfort zone and make that difference that God wants you to make. So as you're listening, if you get excited about the idea of vision, and it is a lot of fun to create, it has that visual appeal, it has the motivation to get up out of bed. Like, it is a lot of fun, and it's worth taking the time. Whether you want to create a business, you want to create a ministry, whether you want to just be the best mom, wife, daughter, friend, having an impact vision is so important. Knowing who we are and having an identity vision is crucial, because if we don't know who we are and what we're called to do, how do we know that we're on the right track? And so I bet you're asking yourself right now, Tammy, how can we get the Vision Lab? Well, we are done with the Vision Lab for this session. However, I am going to make it available for a special Black Friday sale that will be available probably the end of next week. And so look out for it. Take the time. It'll be a self-paced, self-study course. And then I will have a way to connect with me and a way to get your questions answered after. But for more information, because we can't wait. Without a plan, without a roadmap, we don't know where we're going. And we're like driftwood. Don't be like driftwood. Find your lighthouse and go towards the direction that God's put us in. All right. With that, friend, I am so thankful that you're here. I'm so grateful. If you like this podcast, if this podcast has helped you, please consider leaving me a rate and review. It takes like 30 seconds, and it means so much, and it helps the algorithm to know that this podcast is important, that this podcast is liked, and that they should share it with others. So if you can do that, that would be wonderful. Also, if you have a friend who would benefit from listening, please consider sharing it with them as well. Okay, with that, I will talk to you soon, and I'll see you next week. Choose joy until joy chooses you. Bye.